Now we're set to create our first citation. You can type it out yourself, but it's surely a lot more convenient in the electronic age to go use some online conveniences. If you go to the internet and type in "son of citation machine," you will find one of many different kinds of citation makers out there. Although they are convenient, you still need to understand MLA format, because every 5 years MLA updates their citations, and it just so happens that this was done in the past year, and the citation machine sometimes will ask you for more than what is needed, and you will need to adjust as you go. Son of citation machine comes up as the first choice here. Note the URL, citationmachine.net. It's a landmark citation machine. I've had a lot of success with that. Notice these are the different kinds of research paper styles that are available to do here. If I choose MLA in this case, and if you were doing a print source, you could choose from these. If we're doing a non-print source, well, electronic sources, here we go. Problem is, if you note, we asked you to use the library databases. That is none of those choices. Look up here, it says more. Now we have a few more to choose from. One you would want for library database is work from a subscription service accessed through a library. Notice it says adapted. So once again, we have to be aware of what we're going to use. If you select that, empty boxes come up for you to type in. Note where you will put your author and its last name, then first name, and this plus button in case you have a work by more than one author. You can add boxes for more authors. We will not need all of these boxes. Again, MLA has updated its citations for this stretch. We're just going to make something up as we go along here just to give you an idea of how it'll work. I'm going to do Jones is the last name for an author. I'm going to use Paul for the first name. Title of the article, and these are all items that are on your source cards. This is what you need to do. The only things you need to put in are the things on your source card. Title of the article, I'm just going to be quite lame and simple here. Steroids in sports. I'm going to make that title up. And title of the publication, that means the journal title. So it might be something like Opposing Viewpoints, which a number of you probably had something like that, colon. And I'm going to pretend the journal title was Opposing Viewpoints, colon, steroids. If there were a volume and issue number, put that. If there were no volume and issue, leave it blank. Do not put any words in there such as none or NA for not available. Leave it blank. The year published. Notice the Y is here. It's telling you it wants the full year. So I'm going to pretend it was published in 2008. Page numbers. If there were page numbers, put them. If there were no page numbers, the new MLA thing, brand new. We used to leave this box blank in the old days. Now it's capital N, period, space, PAG, small lowercase for all three, period. That is the new requirement. Since it was a database online, leave it as web. That stays the same. Retrieval dates, whatever date you did that. And let's say I did it in somewhere in November was the date I went and retrieved that. Well, notice how it's going to be written. Once again, the numbers, then the letters of the month, but only the first 3 letters for most months, and then the year. So I'm going to pretend it was the 3rd of November, then a space, and then it would be NOV, capital N, small ov, then a space, and I'm going to say, in this case, 2009. That was the date I got the article. That is printed on the copies you printed out from the printer in the room. Title of the database. That is on your cards. In this case, it might be Opposing Viewpoints Resource Center. That's the specific database in Gale. You need to spell it correctly and capitalize the letter of each word. I do not have to put Gale in this box if I give the database name. That's the new thing. Since the teachers are expecting you to use school-provided databases, when you give them something they're familiar with, the database name is enough. You do not need to give the online service title or vendor. Publication date of the database, not required. That's given up here. That's enough. The URL, library. We used to have to put the full library name in. Not required anymore. Once again, assumed based on the fact that your schools know you're using your school library. And the URL. We used to have to give a shortened URL of the article if it was online. No longer required. So, if I now submit, I get something that looks like this. Now I get it in two spots. I get it down here, and it looks like it's set up the way we're going to use it in the paper. And a lot of students see that and go, oh, that's exactly how it's got to look. That's what I need. Don't copy this. Why? Because it says not to. There's your hint. Follow directions. Do not copy this citation below. They're just showing you that's what it's supposed to look like on your paper. Okay. In this case, copy what's in the box. If I highlight it, I copy it. I go over to my document and I paste it. I'm going to use Control V for paste. And since I was set up correctly, it comes out looking correct. The problem might be, I might have copied, in this case it looks fine, I might have copied something that was not 12 Times New Roman, double spaced. It might not be the format. I might be bringing over a different format from the internet. In this case, it looks like it came over fine, but notice this little clipboard that appears at the end of my paste. If I use the little drop down, just to be safe, I can say match destination formatting, and it'll make sure it's in the right format. Always use that when you're copying and pasting from an online citation machine. Then I would hit enter, and I would do my next citation and paste those as well. Now, do not hit extra spacing between them. It goes literally one under the other. The regular double spacing stays intact.